Hello, everyone, and welcome to the TBLE or Technic Builds and Lego Engines official podcast. Yes, we have a podcast, and if you know me by KF Plus Lego Mastery, YouTuber of over 1,300 subscribers on YouTube. I make weekly content, and yeah, so me and a couple of my colleagues on the Discord server have decided to make a podcast just for the viewers, so you guys can get an inside look, and also what we do on our server. So
Seems
joining
about
me
right.
here, So joining me here today, we have Lel436, or otherwise known. Yep, that's you. Otherwise known as Lel's Workshop on YouTube. You go check him out. There'll be links. I don't know where we put
I don't
links.
know, in the bio maybe.
Yeah. And also joining us today, we have Single Cylinder Madness.
Howdy.
Nice to see you here today. So
Yeah.
this, us three will be the three main members of the podcast.
Indeed. Now, what will we discuss here? I guess we will be going over news, engines, tier lists, ranks, that sort of stuff. Just chilling, having a good time.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
So,
as already mentioned, we three are the hosts, and we will be inviting guests here every now and then to join us. These guests will be maybe an influential person that week or month.
yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Now, what is TBLE? It's mainly a Discord server, a community where we discuss engines, Lego engines primarily, which run on air, vacuum power, or pneumatic power. So we believe it's a really interesting topic, and we're passionate about our engines, I guess.
Very much so. Single Cylinder Madness, do you have anything to say?
No, I'm trying not to talk, and I'm also trying not to sniffle my nose because I have a slight cold right now. So.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
Now, what is a vacuum engine in short?
Now I have a quick question. When people join the chat, does it can you hear the join sound?
I don't believe it picks that up.
Right,
no. Yes. What is a vacuum engine?
Yet?
Yes, LS, we started.
All right.
Don't worry, we edit.
Yeah, we're going. We can cut everything away.
Right.
Yeah. Now, what is a vacuum engine in short? Someone want to take that, or should I?
Essentially, a vacuum engine uses suction to pull a piston up and down along with a valve to create rotational force.
That sums it up basically. Yeah.
Essentially, a vacuum engine converts the flow of high volume, low pressure air, or vacuum, of course, into rotational movement through pistons or rotors or all of that sorts. And there are many countless different ways to make these engines, whether it's the form of layout or crankshaft type or valve type. It all depends on what you're looking for in an engine.
That sums it up.
Are you counting it as specifically using vacuum or just overall an air engine?
Well, an air engine is only using vacuum to me. Or no, wait, a vacuum engine is only using vacuum to me.
Yeah,
an air engine, an LAE, would be, I guess, pneumatic engines, pneumatic engines, and
Well, to introduce
vacuum engine
this,
summed up.
Well,
just
yeah.
to
Well,
introduce this into the whole spiel here, is Noah Armistead. He uses a shop vac that can blow air to run his engines off of high volume, low pressure air coming out of the vacuum's exhaust. So that's how he runs his engines. Would that be something to introduce into this? All these categories and stuff?
yeah, and ultimately, all Lego Air engines, whether it be ran on vacuum or positive pressure, they all convert the flow of air into rotational movement.
I think that's the key thing to pick up here.
Definitely.
Yeah. Just got a suggestion to talk about the valve, the valve is what lets air in and out to reciprocate the piston, basically.
Yes, indeed.
And they can be in countless layouts, and so can the piston.
Include SVS or overhead valve or DOHC.
Yeah.
Yeah, many different valve layouts, but also what's important to mention about how a vacuum engine works is, of course, there's always an intake stroke and an exhaust stroke. Vacuum engines primarily, they're not four-stroke engines like most internal combustion engines that you'd see in cars. They only have two strokes required.
Well,
So
then again, it's made out of Lego, and you can't really have a combustion engine out of Lego
that
because it will explode.
yeah, that's a very fair point as well.
Yeah, that's about right. And next on the list is where is this going to be available? We are going to try to get up on the big platforms such as Spotify, iTunes, and such. We are also going to be available on YouTube, I believe. And
You know what? You know what I'm gonna do? If you send me the finished audio recorded product, like after you edit it, I'll put it over a picture of our cover art and then upload it to my channel.
I'll probably
iTunes
upload
is
it to
dead, by the way.
TBLE official channel.
They use Apple Music now.
Yeah.
all right, let's
By the way,
do
have
that.
you all
Yeah.
forgotten that we have a TBLE official channel, YouTube channel for our server?
Yeah, I think I
So
saw it.
probably upload it there.
Let's bring it to life.
Yeah, I'll probably upload this there as a post then.
Go subscribe. Yeah, so we will try to get it into there. It will also be available on Podbean, I believe, which is our RSS host, and I'm going to try to get it up to there. May or may not be there. We will see. Guests. As I already mentioned, we will try to take in an influential person, maybe, or someone who is relevant in the topic that we're discussing that episode.
Yeah, and any of you viewers listening, if you would like to apply to become a guest on our weekly or monthly, I don't know, we haven't really made a schedule yet, but if you would like to become a guest for our episode, feel free to shoot me or Single Cylinder Madness or Lel a direct message on Discord. We are always open most of the time.
Yes, you can find us through the TBLE Discord server. There will be a link in the bio, I guess.
As well as all of our Discord usernames and tags. Go ahead and shoot us a friend request if needed.
Yeah, everything will be there. Yeah, I think that was everything about the poll. Is there anything any one of you guys wanna put in? Anything
No,
we
not
missed, you
really.
believe?
Oh yes, I want to say one thing. If any
Uh-huh.
of you viewers watching, you all have any suggestions on what we should do with this podcast, because this is a very vague idea at this point. We still have lots of plans. But definitely, if you have any suggestions, let us know.
Just to mention, we are not professional podcasters.
No, not even
Yeah, we'll make
close.
some watch.
Not at all.
Yeah. So
I have one thing to add. That
yes.
if you
Okay.
have any listener out there has any specific questions, just as Lel said, DM any of us, and if you need to, add us in order to DM us. But if you have any specific questions you want to ask on the podcast, get those hooked up.
For sure.
I think if you want to make a vacuum engine, you should definitely join the Discord server, because we have an active community which you can easily get help, where we have people from all around the world in different time zones. So you should always be able to get some help, or some of that.
Yeah, or you could just go to KF's YouTube channel.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that works
That's
too.
fair.
But I'm not about the shameless self promo.
We all
KF
know you're all
shameless
about that life, KF.
KF exposed.
Oh, I've already been exposed enough.
Yeah, I got his phone number.
You know, next time there will be an LS OnlyFans. No, wait.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now, me, KF, and SCM, Single Cylinder Madness, we all three did a tier list on our top engine cylinder configurations. Just to get some meat to this episode, to get some length, you know.
Yes, indeed.
So I guess we will be going over them.
Who would like to go
Yes.
first?
Okay, go first. You can we could do everyone do their fifth one, and we we go up the list. So all three says their fifth tier one, and then we'll all do our fourth, and so on.
Okay. So who wants to go first? I don't know.
I can go first.
All right, go.
So in my fifth place, we have the opposed twin with a central crankshaft. You can Google that if you want to see a picture. It is a real combustion engine, not just a vacuum engine, which most of these are. And I just think opposed engines are cool in general, so I wanted to have it. I wanted to have it here.
Yep.
Fair point.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, quickly, SCM, you need to turn up your mic or something, because we can hardly hear you. Like, I can hear
Yeah.
well, and KF really, really well, but you're really, really muted.
Yeah,
Hey, my mic is messing up. It's set all the way up. I might switch to my other machine real quick.
Well,
All
I
right.
mean, we can always edit your volume, like in the
Yeah,
post.
you could do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm trying
that's
to
true.
talk
I
as
can
close
hear
to
you
the mic as
fine
possible.
sometimes, and then sometimes you just cut out.
This is what
sometimes
I get
really,
for
really
buying a
muffled.
Chinese microphone. Hold on.
Okay, there we go. I should be on a better mic.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Prime audio. So opposed engine, very cool. KF engine configuration thingy.
Oh yes. So my hang on. Someone has the mic monitoring turned way down low, because I can hear my voice through someone.
I just plugged the thing right back into the sound system, so it's super loud now. There you go.
Okay, I think that's better. I don't hear myself anymore. All right. Anyway, so mine, my fifth out of top 5 is my flat engine configuration. I know in my videos that I made about it, I did call it a flat, or no, not a flat. I called it a boxer engine, because the flat and boxer configurations are a little bit confusing. But I made a flat 2 and a flat 4 engine. You might have seen them. I know I did flat 4 for my 100 subscriber special, I believe. But that was a couple months ago, many months ago, actually. But I put that on my top 5 because even though it is a pretty interesting engine layout, there are definitely ones that have become more popular over the months. It's also a cool sounding layout. if you know, one of my favorite sounding ones, by the way.
Yeah, I feel like lately, like the SVS system has become too standard. No one wants to build SVS. It's not cool anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and while we are talking about all these confusing terms to some of you may be confusing, you can check out the wiki page, which will also be in the bio, where you can read if you like
Yeah, I
to read.
completely forgot about that.
I remember signing up to work on it, and then I didn't. So maybe
You
I
never
should.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that. You can
We
just
don't talk about that.
Hashtag don't talk about it.
yes.
Yep.
That's a meme now. All right. Single cylinder. What's your
My number 5 favorite engine is the single cylinder, which is
Engine.
kind of ironic because you would think that would be my favorite engine, but it's not.
Yeah, you're
Single
right.
cylinder, kind of boring.
The only thing cool about single cylinders nowadays is their RPM. You can't beat it.
Nah,
Right.
too little friction.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We have a record
What's the
book.
record right now? Does anyone know? It's back right with like 6,000 RPM or something crazy.
I've seen people get it up to 1,000.
I think Spock and Matt's Bricks with Kyle, I think those two are the highest recorded ones at 6,000 and 6,500 RPM.
I mean, it depends if we're talking vacuum engine or a pneumatic engine, because I've had pneumatic engines that get up to like 6,000 RPM,
Jesus
Yeah, I've
Christ.
seen those too.
Holy smoke.
and they have melted. Hurts.
That's pretty intense. I mean, I think
So wait,
I don't-
so you seem to know something about pneumatics. Do they does one cylinder have less friction than multiple cylinders? Or are they always superior?
So a single cylinder gets higher RPM and it has less friction, depending on if you use a modified valve or a stock valve. The difference between a stock and a modified valve is that a modified valve has a lot less friction and it's got drilled out ports for more airflow. And then it also depends on if you're using stock cylinders or modified cylinders. Modified cylinders, same thing as the stocks or the switches. They increase airflow and decrease friction. So that's how I get my engines running that fast.
So that's another topic we should probably talk about is, would a modified cylinder be in a different category than a non-modified cylinder? Like, would it be any less able to be competition or whatever?
Well, I mean,
Because
you don't even modify your cylinders. Does it really count? Like everyone modifies them nowadays.
Yeah, everybody modifies it. I've only seen like 3 or 4 pneumatic engines that run without modified cylinders.
So
really
when I
know
wrote the
because
wiki, because I wrote the record page of the wiki, and when I wrote that, I thought that everyone modifies, so I allowed modification in every single category. But I did separate switchless and switchless, but I don't really know if they make a difference.
Yeah, switchless does make a difference. I'm actually working on a switchless pneumatic engine right now. The difference between switchless and switched pneumatic engines is that switchless engines are a hell of a lot harder to make. I've like taken apart this one and rebuilt it like 5 or 6 times already. It's horrible.
And are they any faster?
But no, not really.
Okay.
I feel like also depending on who builds them, like, and how they're built, because like if you actually look at Green Gecko's video, so I think that's the tutorial you were trying to follow or something.
Yeah. So
really parts and stuff.
yeah, they're a little finicky.
I see.
They're very finicky.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
I haven't really played around with pneumatics.
Same here. I've never even touched a pneumatic cylinder before.
Oh, you guys are missing out, dude. They sound awesome.
I've held a cylinder I have one right here, but it broke. Like the little
That's a
little
switch.
no, like the thing that you put the tube on. It's like from the 70s.
Oh
and
yeah, I have like 6 cylinders that have broken.
Yeah, I just put the tube on and then I snapped it. So.
Yeah, those are horrible
Unuseful.
for that. You should just
And-
start
but it wasn't
reinforcing
very
with
good. Like
glue.
it wasn't good at all.
Yeah, no, they're that's like the thing about pneumatics is that they can break sometimes, especially under a lot of stress. I mean, 6,000 RPM. It's alright, depending on if you lubricate your engine or not. Like if you don't lubricate your engine, you can just kiss your pneumatics by. But you should definitely use silicone lubricant on your pneumatics.
For sure. I think we're getting a little off topic here. Last time I checked, we were supposed to be doing a top 5 list of all of our favorite engines.
I think this is good. We need to get some length to this.
Yeah, we need to get some length. It's supposed to be about an hour long.
Oh, for sure.
How long are we
Well,
at now?
maybe.
I want to do a minimum of at least 50 minutes. Like 50 minutes. And we've done almost about a half an hour.
Yeah, that's about right.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yep.
Bring up anything you want. Yeah. Let's do the fourth then. On my fourths, I have a V12, which comes from my favorite car, the AM Vulcan. I don't even know how to pronounce that. It's just beautiful car.
So pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. It's kind
Imagine
of expensive though.
Imagine a V12 out of Lego making a V12 Lego bag.
I've seen big block V8s.
I've also
like I don't know, like LS1 did a he did the V6, so if you just multiply that by 2, you have a V8.
Well, I thought LS did a straight 6.
He did. He also
Oh
had
yeah, but he did a V6 too, right?
I'm pretty sure he just did a straight 6.
No,
I mean, he's in the voice chat. He
I've
could
done
speak
both.
up if he wants to.
He did a straight 6 and a V6.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So you multiply that, you get a V12.
Get this, guy.
I've done a straight 6 and
I
a
don't
V6.
remember. Yeah, I don't remember if I told any of you guys, but I saw a flat 12 Lego vacuum engine on a video.
Where?
Hey, SCM, look at the stream.
Dang, that is nice.
Hey, you should take Jackson's 16 by 16 piston or whatever and just make a V12 out of it.
Well,
That would have some torque.
There's so much.
That would be like more displacement than a Lamborghini V12.
dude, that would have more displacement than the W16 Bugatti.
Oh, there
engines.
are some crazy
Yeah.
like W24. That's some piston.
Yeah, and that specific 16 by 16 piston had hang on, I need to do some quick maths here. Let me do some math real quick. So
Do the maths.
16 times 16 times 2, which is the stud length he had, was 512 cubic studs. Multiply that by 0.512 and you get the number of cubic centimeters. So Jackson Campbell's 16 by 16 engine design was actually 262.114 cubic centimeters of displacement, which is more.
So that if you put all the crank lengths together, and then you put like the piston on top of that. Wait, that's the number of studs it would move as a whole.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a
he
vague
had
explanation, but basically the cube that it moves in.
Yeah, so he had a 2-stud stroke. I remember asking him. So.
Oh, okay. So he only had 2-stud stroke. He could have made like a 6-stud stroke if you had some pieces for that.
Yeah, he could have. Didn't he quit YouTube?
Jackson,
Sort of.
I don't think he did.
Well, he's kind of laying off it a little bit because I asked him where he'd been. I asked him like a week ago and he responded a few days ago. And he said that he's just kind of picked up some other things in life and found more fun things.
I tried to Google his channel and I got that some guy in Texas died of the flu.
Also, if his 16x16 engine was to actually have a 6-stud stroke, which is what I would personally recommend for it, it would have 786.432 cc's.
Oh
That's
my
a few
gosh.
studs.
That's
That's bad.
yeah.
How many vacuums would you need to get that thing running like efficiently?
At least
All
two
of them?
have
Is
like
that an answer? All of them? Just hook up every
All,
vacuum
all
in the
of the
world?
vacuums.
yeah. It'd
Wait,
probably like
so
so much mass moving at the same time would probably like make a black hole.
You see, if I ever go to space, which that's not gonna happen, but it's worth a shot. I'll pop a hole in my spacesuit and I'll hold a vacuum engine up to it and see if I can run it off the vacuum of space.
You gotta send us that video
like
when you do
they,
that,
they
dude.
should start running
Seems
what
very
like
curious.
they should start running spaceships of vacuum engines. They could just use the vacuum in space.
Well, okay, so if
You
you're
just solved our
here's a
energy
problem with
crisis.
that. Like, okay, so there's a mild problem with that is like if it's already in space, it's already exposed to the vacuum of space, so the vacuum isn't gonna change. It's just gonna stay the same.
You need to
yeah,
have
well, if you have the engine inside of the space shuttle or whatever,
Yeah.
it would there would be a different pressure inside of the shuttle.
Yeah, you would have infinite vacuum.
Infinite vacuum.
well,
Okay, you would also have to have something that would generate more air because you're gonna die if you don't have air,
yeah,
and
That's
the vacuum will run out if you don't.
like
Yeah.
600 million years in the future, the vacuum in space, it's no more. We used it all. That doesn't make sense, but anyway.
get wrecked. All right.
It's probably
Number
unmuted,
4 for top 5 Lego vacuum engines. I
Yeah,
have
let's go on. Third. Oh wait, yeah, I did the V12. Now it's KF.
my number 4 is the inline 2. Now I know that my most popular video on YouTube right now is actually my inline 2 version 2 with 4-speed transmission. Now the reason why this is actually in my number 4 spot is because even though it got so many views on YouTube, it's not really like my favorite engine, namely because it's pretty basic to say the least, and it's like it's not as commonly used in things in real life as most other
Yeah,
engines.
because it doesn't really have a lot of torque.
Yes.
That's your inline 2 version 2, you're saying?
Yeah, the one with the 4x6 pistons and the video I did with the 4-speed transmission. It has like 30,000 views on YouTube.
That's honestly got to be one of my favorite engines that you've made.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
thing was nice.
if people
Yeah, I
start
love that engine.
saying it's basic, you should just add OHV, do some turbo stuff, VTEC. I don't know. You know,
You heard
Beast
that?
and-
update it a little bit.
Did y'all hear the stuff Kevin does? That channel is getting ready to try to do VTEC since he finally made a dual overhead cam engine. He's gonna try to
Dude,
make a VTEC
Evan
engine.
does some crazy stuff.
Yeah,
I know,
Kevin's kind of
right?
insane.
Kevin's good.
Yeah.
We need to get him onto the podcast ASAP.
Yes, we could.
Yeah. So
Mission get Kevin.
also single cylinder. What is your number 4?
The 4-banger. The 4-banger or the inline 4 is my number 4 spot.
Definitely.
It's
It's
classic.
yeah.
Like pickup truck.
Yeah, like pickup truck, Pontiac G6, Chevy Impala.
Yeah.
Just to list a few of vehicles.
Like
So
like
you're
the
you're going over engines that you like in real life. I'm kind of like going over the engines that I built out of Lego.
yeah, and I'm going over the engines that
I'm going over the engines that I've worked on.
Fair enough.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, let's just move on to tier 3 before we start talking about cryptocurrency again.
Yeah.
Number 3. My number 3 is the Axial 5. Which the newer axial engines are used in torpedoes mainly. They don't last very long because of the reciprocation. No, wait, the oscillation. They oscillate a lot
It's
and
disappointing
makes them
how.
very unstable. Which they are very compact. That's why they use them in torpedoes, because they don't have to travel very far and they are very compact.
Disappointing how such a cool engine layout just gets blown up when it hits another ship or something.
I mean, yeah. I'm fairly certain it's pretty cheap to make those types of engines, though.
Yeah, I think so. And if you were to gear it down, I think like if it could generate some torque, I don't think it would have to go very fast.
No,
Extending
not
its
really.
lifetime.
Could you put it in a car? Maybe.
Probably
A
not.
round car.
I mean, if you want your car to run for like 5 miles, then maybe, but
Yeah, you could have some like run a truck with like a bunch of those, and you just replace them every time they break.
Yeah, so
Epic.
my tier 3 is my V-twin Lego vacuum engine. Now, if you remember, obviously, I had 2 iterations of my V-twin. My older one was back last summer, I believe, and it wasn't too popular. Not a lot of people actually built it. But then, just last month, or 2 months ago, I think it was, I made my version 2 V-twin, and then it just like so many people started building it. I was like honestly surprised because I did a tutorial for it, and then so many people started building it. So that was a very very big surprise. But
Yeah.
the
You
reason
think
why I
that
put it at
tutorial
my
people-
tier the reason why I put it at my tier 3 is because it's definitely a cool sounding engine and it has a lot of potential for sure. And the layout or the way that I built the frame is very compact and easy to make. So I think that's why a lot of people built it.
yeah.
I agree.
Oh,
And it's way more structurally stable, so it's you don't have to worry about it tilting like Jackson Campbell's. His was going like side to side. I swear it's turned into a boxer at least once in that video.
Yeah.
It did.
But like one thing I get very surprised because I didn't think it was very structurally stable, because I built like the manifold. I tried to run it and the manifold fell off all the time, and I was like, what the frick is this? What have you made, monster? And it's just because I forgot to put the plate like between the cylinders. So I just had it like on a stick in the middle, like the manifold.
Yeah. I
That
mean,
was kind of sad though. I took it apart and then realized, because Lemons told me.
okay.
Yes.
Who else
Um.
on their tier 3?
Yeah, SEM. Your tier 3.
My tier 3 is a big block V8. Again, another engine that I've worked on. Not a Lego engine, a legitimate engine.
Ah.
I worked on one of those, and that was pretty much it.
Big block V8. Yeah.
So, quick thing I wanted to say. Since I got the V6 here, I really want to make a V8, obviously. And if I was to make a V8, I would have a big block V8. Because Alan, man, he's been showing me in DMs where he was trying to make a 2x2 V8, but he keeps on giving up on it. So he would have the small block, and I'd have the big block.
Didn't Frito make a V8 with 2x2s?
I don't think so.
Don't
Or
think
no,
so.
his was a V-twin.
Yeah,
I never
made a
saw that.
V-twin, but not a V8. Definitely not.
Yeah, not yet.
You know, I remember LS telling me that his inline 6 was very demanding for parts, and probably his V6 too. So a V8 is like even a V8 requires so many parts, like so many crankshafts, so many cylinder wall pieces, and
I
the
got crankcast galore now, thanks to Bricklink.
Yeah.
The sponsor of our next video.
And
Just
one
kidding.
thing to mention too that happened quite recently, I thought it was very cool. The Tristan Arnold's V flathead.
Dude, that thing was something.
Yeah, it sounds like a beast.
Oh, for
Which
sure.
one was
Probably
it?
because it is.
His V4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
just
that thing
to
was
mention, Tristan Arnold didn't come up with the flathead idea. It was free though. So yes, props to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, big props to him. All right, moving on. What was our tier 2 engine
Tier
for you?
2. My tier 2 was the i6 straight 6.
Nice.
Very cool engine in a bunch of sports cars. Everyone loves sports cars.
Is that a Supra?
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Supra
Shouldn't-
and two JZ.
Yes, 2JZ. Epic
Yeah.
engine. Imagine having enough parts to build an inline 6. Couldn't relate.
Yeah, imagine.
Yeah, I couldn't relate. I probably do, just it wouldn't run the best.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
could substitute so many freaking parts.
yeah, substituting parts is like it becomes a daily thing. If you don't have like the right parts,
Oh
it's
god,
a way to
dude!
substitute.
KF, you remember last night when you popped into the voice chat and I was running my, or I was attempting to run that switchless LPE?
I recall.
Yeah, so I had to like swap out so many parts because I was missing tons of parts on that thing. That I ultimately just decided to this morning just take it all apart and try and make my own design, which isn't
Like-
going too well either.
My friend sent me some meme, and I was like, "What the frick is this?" And it was some girl. I thought it was actually really funny. It was some girl. She was driving a car, and it was like a Porsche or something like that. It just ran by, and she was like, "Oh my god, that's a Challenger Cobra 392."
Goodness
Yeah.
gracious, I would have slapped her.
Yeah, Challenger Cobra 392,
Uh,
my dream car.
Have you seen that the video of the old lady saying that she's got a Mercada,
Mercada.
the Mercedes?
Oh, yeah.
She's at a gas station and the cashier's like, "Oh, you got a Mercedes?" And she's like, "Yeah, I got a Mercada." Dude.
You cut out really big time.
Such a Mercada.
That's how you know they're white.
Okay, let's move on. KF.
Tier 2 for me is definitely inline 4. I mean, we all know an inline 4 engine is actually statistically the most common engine layout across all the cars ever built, ever. And
Indeed.
if we get into the subcategory of the engines that I've built, my inline 4 engine is definitely one of my favorites, mainly because I made it a cross plane because since vacuum engines are 2-stroke, you want to get the smoothest power delivery ever. I could have made it flat plane if I wanted to, but I chose not to. But since I did make it cross plane, it ran a lot smoother and had a lot of low end torque, which was really surprising. I should have made a transmission for it, but I didn't.
Flat planes are actually not that bad in inline fours from vacuum. Because like I had, if y'all recall, I had a inline 4 as well for a while there before I built the inline 6.
Yeah,
And flat plane actually worked really well for it. I get almost no RPM difference in a cross plane and flat plane. Now I'm sure you have way more torque with a cross plane, so you have consistent. You have the pistons firing more consistently, so you're not going
Yeah.
2 strokes without a piston firing or whatever. So
yeah.
I definitely think that a cross plane is better, but flat planes really are not as bad as people probably think they are in a Lego
Yeah.
form.
Yeah, so I made a few flathead. I made a flathead in Lego. It was kind of cool. Or I am going to. I made a studio version. I've ordered some parts, but that's my next project actually. To be clear here. So I've messaged some people here. Some probably know, but I've ordered some smoke on a bottle. I don't know what to call it really. It's just smoke in a spray can. So I'm going to hook it up to the intake, so it sucks up the smoke from there, and I'm just going to record it from like up, putting some clear pieces there, so you can see the full intake and well, of the two strokes.
I think that'd be really cool to see.
Yeah,
Especially
it would be.
a slow-mo
Yeah,
shot.
I saw these nuts. The series, what's it called? Let me Google this. Cut this out, editor. I'm the editor. See-through engine. That's it. From Warp Perception.
Oh,
Yeah.
Where he runs it on different fuels. I thought it was really interesting with the flathead too, where you can really see everything.
yeah, I think it'd be
Yeah, it
really
was.
like that.
Did you see his running the single cylinder off of what was it, gunpowder?
Yeah,
Can you do that?
Yeah, that thing
That was
exploded instantly.
Can is there liquid gunpowder? Gas gunpowder?
No, he threw like gunpowder into the intake.
Can you do that?
It did go off, and it also like exploded. But
Exploded the entire everything behind it.
yeah, it did. Like, so he had it in like a super long like acrylic tube that like was like a good like 8 feet long, and it ran into the intake. And when he went to start it, I think he used an electric starter, and he was standing behind bulletproof glass. He went to start it, and yeah, it did get some of the gunpowder in there. But once it got into the cylinder, it freaking ignited, and it blew up the entire acrylic tube.
Oof.
Yeah, basically did
Like,
the
I
one
feel
thing
like
you
friends,
never want to happen.
flatheads are so reliable. Oh, sorry, talking over you.
Yeah, they are.
Like, flatheads are so reliable. That's what I've noticed. Like, they hold for anything. He ran it on nitromethane, like turbocharger, everything. Still hasn't blown up. Like, that's kind of crazy.
Right.
For sure.
Next, number 1, the top tier, the Hall of Fame.
Straight six.
Straight six for you.
Straight six.
Straight 6. Yeah, straight 6, very cool. I had my straight 6 for the second place. All sports cars, almost, like mid-tier sports cars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and for me, continue.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can take one. But was there anything to say about the i6? Anything
Nope,
else?
you already said everything about it.
All right.
And
Yeah, I can. Yeah. Oh my
for me, my number one choice for engine layout is my classic one cylinder. And there's not, I think one cylinders in real life are actually pretty cool too, whether they're OHV or flathead, like a Briggs and Stratton engine. Those are really cool. My friend has some mowers that he does and has those pretty cool Briggs and Stratton engines. But and talking about in terms of Lego vacuum engines, I think the reason why I have the one cylinder as my here engine layout is because it's the one I've built the most iterations of and different models. I believe I've made like 5 different iterations of the one cylinder, and I plan to do another one soon. So,
One
yeah.
cylinder, very cool, very basic, very classic, very cool.
Yeah.
Tiny but mighty, if you will. Unless you're talking about
they do go crazy.
yeah.
They will.
Some yeah, just off topic again, but I'm like planning to buy a moped and putting a turbo on it. Though turbo isn't very good for 2-stroke engines, but I found
Actually,
like $500, so I may.
speaking of turbos on two-stroke engines, actually a lot of like those Detroit diesels, two-strokes, a lot of those actually cannot run without a blower, without some kind of a forced induction to.
No, they
keep
won't
speed.
either.
What?
I said they won't either.
Yeah.
That's right. Like I just want the sound,
Smart.
like the turbocharger sound, the repressurizing when it releases all the air. That's like epic.
Yeah. My air compressor does that when
That's
I
what I
run
go
off
to sleep with.
these.
Turbocharger ASMR.
Yeah.
Yes.
My number one choice is the Wankel rotary. It was really hard making this, so I really just threw it together. Wankel rotary because I love Mazda, RX-7, RX-8, really good cars.
500.
Yeah.
Dude, the RX 500 looks like something right out of like the future.
It does.
Like,
Yeah.
it's a pretty car.
I agree. I agree completely.
Switching
Yeah.
to electric cars, I don't know. It's like bittersweet,
God, I hate electric cars. They're so like annoying.
boring.
They are. They're boring too. Oh, save the environment. Don't use gas cars because they freaking do all that garbage to the ozone layer.
How do you expect to get any sponsors when you're trash talking literally every potential sponsor?
Well, you see, I'm sure we're not going to get a sponsor.
No.
We're such a small group. There's no way in hell we're going to get a sponsor. But like, no, they're saying like all the Karens and crap. They're talking about how like gas cars deplete the ozone and stuff. When it takes literally the same amount of stuff to make freaking like a Tesla or something like that.
Yeah, the batteries themselves are not environmentally friendly whatsoever.
Yeah, and lithium mining is like so dangerous and stuff.
Yeah, you're.
One thing
There's
I
so many things
was
wrong with
thinking
it.
about was
Yeah.
the like, what if we never discovered the catalyst? What
Yeah.
then? What would our world look like without the catalyst?
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm wondering too.
Can we improve the catalyst? Can we use the gas particles in nuclear factories to make power?
Dude, I want to see a nuclear-powered freaking electric car. That would be something like that would be like the only one electric car that I would invest in.
Ford makes a
Agreed.
nuclear-powered Ford with the
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
Ford
right.
would be
sweet.
the one to do that.
I forgot what I was gonna say, so let's just end it here.
Well, yeah, I think one of the main things, if you do like make a nuclear powered engine, it'd be ridiculously expensive to power, considering that
Yeah,
nuclear
it would.
material in general is ridiculously expensive.
Well,
Yep.
maybe
Well, I
you
mean,
could.
Ford,
Yeah,
Ford, when
the
Ford made their turbine-powered cars, those were super expensive and super impractical, especially because of their waste emission.
Yeah, turbine engines they burn so much more fuel, which is the problem when you can
They
get the
do.
same amount of power out of a regular reciprocating
Mhm.
combustion engine.
But my God, they sound awesome.
I agree. Yes.
Do that.
yeah, they do sound. That let's just like, can we what have we established this episode that you should start running cars off of vacuum engines because environment.
Well, they actually sell cars that are powered by compressed air.
Yeah, I know. There was some studies, and now they're like.
Some Chinese company did it.
I saw something new. Like, wait. I think it was hydrogen cars.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, those are cool.
Speck ran a something off of hydrogen. I think he ran a lawnmower off of hydrogen.
Dude, Spock's done literally everything.
Yeah, dude.
He's ran weed eaters on like 90% 90% water, 10% gas.
Yeah, I want to try that. That'd be funny.
Laszlo versus Speck.
To recap, what we went over is obviously all our frequently asked questions about the podcast, top 5 engine layouts for me and Single Cylinder Madness and Lel. Also,
Wait, did y'all get to finish the? I didn't hear anybody else's say their number one. Like you said, yours was a one cylinder. I didn't hear anybody.
Yeah.
I didn't hear Lel or
I
anybody
said
else.
straight
maybe you
six.
weren't paying attention, but
Straight
also
6,
thanks
and
to our
I did the Wankel rotary.
Oh,
What have we established today? Let's ask ourselves the question.
What have we established?
Yeah.
Well, definitely that we're going to try and make this monthly or bi-weekly thing whenever
We should definitely try
time.
weekly. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't very hard. Like, not at all.
No,
I
not really.
I was dreading this because I was like, oh my god, what if we mess up? What if the recording software goes bad and then I don't have time to record this whole thing again?
We don't know if the recording
You
software
don't know
was bad.
how hard it wasn't for me to sneeze during this entire thing.
I know allergies during this time of year, they are absolutely crappy. So
Yeah.
Yeah. 100 like thingies and KF will make ASMR. Thanks for watching.
ASMR, yeah, maybe.
All
Yeah,
right.
Lego ASMR.
Yeah, you can look forward to this episode on my YouTube channel as well as TBLE Official World.
It may get uploaded to mine too,
You
I
can
guess.
also find it on my channel, but whatever.
And
So yeah, go to KF's channel.
And
Well,
hopefully, if we
just
get
make sure-
verified, we can upload to Spotify too.
yeah, just make sure to send us all the files.
Yeah. We should
Yeah, I just send the files.
try to think an easy way to get files to each other. I'll figure it out later after the podcast. I'm not talking nerd crap.
All right, well, that's going to do it for today's episode of the TBLE Inside Look, or whatever this podcast is called. I already forget because we've been so off topic. But
Yeah.
Cryptocurrency.
Yeah, we will get better.
yeah,
We will
so
learn.
Yeah, we will.
definitely. So that's all for today, folks. Thanks for dropping by, and we'll see you all in the next episode. See you later.
See ya.
Thank you.
See ya.
Okay, let's